Welcome to CBS Sports presents Numbers Don't Lie, powered by Sofascore, the show where we ask the biggest questions and the biggest games and the biggest names. Today, we're going to ask the biggest question surrounding Arsenal, the Gunners. Is it a systems problem or a player's problem? Why they aren't getting enough out of their offense. Michael Lahoud, my guy, Chris Wittyngham here. Woody, when you look at the Gunners, I'll ask you, what's the issue with them putting balls in the back of the net lately?
Yeah, I think we see the 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest. A lot of frustrations for the fans this weekend. Personally, I think they're a little bit overblown. We're in this part of the year where you're playing Carabao Cup, you're playing FA Cup, you're playing Champions League, you're playing Premier League. They're 7 points clear at the top of the league, but I understand that level of frustration. I think we want to see from a champion of the Premier League a sort of level of imperiousness going forward. They have so much attacking talent, and yet we play 22 games and they've scored 40 goals, or under 2 goals a game, which is a pretty slow mark for a team that's on pace to win the league. So in my view, I think it is about the caution that they play with. It is about the system, but we'll dig into the numbers on it a bit more.
Yeah, Mikel Arteta, he's built a machine that's taken quite a bit of time. But when you talk to Arsenal fans or Premier League football fans, they don't call them Beautiful Football FC. They call them Set Piece FC. And the numbers don't lie, right? You get the 40 goals, but when you look at the numbers, they're leading the cavalry in terms of set piece goals. You think of players like a Gabriel. Yeah. He is arguably one of the best defenders in the world, not just because he could defend, but he's a set piece target. What do you make of these numbers?
Well, I think over the course of the season, it has almost become a joke, a meme, this idea that, well, Arsenal's just one corner away. If they can just get a corner late on, they can go and score. It's incredible the proficiency that they have with these movements, making movements off of other players and getting to the back post, and the brilliant deliveries from Declan Rice, who almost all of his XG comes from those set-piece deliveries. But I think this is an incredible statistic. 11 of Arsenal's 15 Premier League wins this season have come after a set-piece goal. And I guess the flip side of that is also incredible as well, where they also have not really won games where they haven't scored from a set piece, as was the case this weekend. Arsenal failed to score a set piece goal in each of their last 7 Premier League games where they dropped points. So they are becoming reliant on this. And the moniker is for a reason, Set Piece FC. And it's not necessarily pejorative. They're being successful with it. It's just that from open play, they just haven't been as threatening as we thought they would be, considering the level of attacking talent they have.
I think we're seeing a change in world football, and I love that you bring these numbers up and these stats up, because the beautiful game is going from beautiful to the balance of being direct. We're seeing it with clubs like a Brentford in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They're up there in the top 7, in the top 10. Let's be very kind to Brentford, top 10, because they figured it out, and Mikel Arteta may have unlocked something in the Premier League. But at the end of the day, for the Gunners, the expectation is to deliver a Premier League trophy, but also to deliver in the final third. And we got to talk about the big elephant in the room, Woody, is Viktor Gyökeres. And in my opinion, Viktor Gyökeres has been struggling for Arsenal. And you can pick at a lot of different things. Is it him? Is it the system? Is it Mikel Arteta? But we have to have an honest conversation as to why Viktor Gyökeres is struggling. I look at his ability both movement-wise, technically, and mentally as the big reasons why. But if we get to that, we look at the numbers. This is going back amongst 116 forwards that have played a minimum of 300 minutes. This isn't good enough. The 5 goals, 19th ranked in there. But my biggest worry is the fact that the expected goals aren't yielding actual goals. And Woody, when you looked at Viktor Gyökeres, what is your big concern?
Well, I think you start here with the Sofascore rating, ranked 114 of the 116 Premier League forwards. He's just not delivering. And I think this was, maybe a little bit of a fallacy over time, but there was this idea that Arsenal was a center forward away. They just needed to bring in a striker like this, and he was going to deliver 20 goals, and Arsenal were going to go win the Premier League. The remarkable thing is, they might go win the Premier League after bringing in a striker, but it won't be the reason why. He is not the reason why Arsenal are having success. If anything, you can maybe make an argument that with another player up front, they could be having more success.
And that's the argument, and that's the case we're really going to get into. So I dub this the good, the bad, and the ugly of Viktor Gyökeres. And I'm a positive guy. I'm probably one of the most positive guys at CBS Sports. Don't quote me on that. But we're going to look at the good right now, because there was some good very recently in the Carabao Cup. This is against Chelsea. So Viktor Gyökeres, as we pause here, Static movement has been one of my biggest qualms with them, but also getting into spaces early. Arsenal sub out Martin Odegaard, which I don't think Viktor Gyökeres and Martin Odegaard is a match made in heaven just yet, because Odegaard is about control. Mikel Merino has a very high footballing IQ, and it's about early service and getting patient movement from Gyökeres in the final third. So Gyökeres, as we pause there, he doesn't go automatically. He waits for the space to show itself. And I've played with some of the best strikers. Juan Pablo Angel used to teach me this. He said, let my movement tell you when I'm ready to receive the ball. And Gyökeres does this. Merino gets the ball, and look at his initial movement. It goes in, and what does that do? It initiates the runs from midfield. Arsenal look like a dynamic football team and football club when moments, roll the clip, happen like this. And this is one of the best team football goals that we've seen from the Gunners in quite some time. And Martin Zubimendi, signing of the season, in my opinion, from Arsenal, and one of the signings of the summer in world football. I mean, this was the best I've seen Gyökeres in terms of movement, hold-up play, and understanding of the game and teammates on display this season.
But also the quality as well to pull that pass off, to receive and play quickly. But you're right, this is the best case scenario. Let's kind of take you through some of the areas in which it has not gone so well for Arsenal.
Yeah, the big thing for Arsenal and the big thing for Viktor Gyökeres is it's not enough in terms of being effective and creating enough chances and getting shots off. I mean, averaging 2 shots. The guy scored 60 goals last season. Would you bring him in to get 2 shots? It's not good enough for a team that's competing on multiple fronts.
Let's set the context for this set of statistics, though. These are Premier League forwards, center forwards, since the start of 2016-17, third at last in touches per 90, which, I mean, we talked about Erling Haaland not necessarily be full of touches in his game, but still, these are worrying statistics. The passing accuracy, the aerial duels one. This is, I think, a big one because there was a thought that he was going to come in and be a physical presence. He's not yet been a physical presence.
Yeah, the disappointing thing as well, and I love you talk about the aerial duels. I think a lot of Premier League defenders find him very easy to mark. And this is a player who won the Gerd Muller Trophy for all of those reasons that he's not showing. And we're going to see the next tactical is his movement has been really disappointing. So this is the bad, because we're going to get to the downright ugly. This is against Liverpool. And Bukayo Saka, we're going to get into him, has to play early service. But we're going to see it again as we look at it again. We pause right here. Viktor Gyökeres, this is Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate. We've seen Viktor Gyökeres constantly want to go to that back post. This isn't Sporting Lisbon. This is Arsenal. This is the Premier League. People and defenders have watched you go to that back post. There's a massive gap right here. If you get on Bukayo Saka, and look, Bukayo Saka should put this ball in, but you have to have runs into that near post. I don't see Viktor Gyökeres making enough runs into the near post. And if I'm a winger, I'm thinking he's not going to give me the right sort of movement. I'm just going to take it myself, Woody.
And that's what Bukayo Saka does there. I guess my question to you would be, as we look at another clip, this is from the Liverpool game against Saka coming inside, and Gyökeres' position is static as a shot goes in. My question to you would be, well, if you're saying that a center forward recognizes that space and runs into it, wouldn't there be a suggestion that Mikel Arteta is asking him not to do so, to leave that wing over to Saka and that space to Saka for him to take advantage? Because he is the creator in this team. A lot of the play goes through him. So Gyökeres doesn't necessarily want to take his space. And so in some ways, is Gyökeres not confined to this area in the width of the 6-yard box? Or do you think he should maybe defy the tactics or just do what a center forward does anyway? Because I can't imagine he wouldn't make that run under normal circumstances unless Arteta tells him not to.
It's a combination of both, in my opinion, because Arsenal, they've been this close doing what they're doing, and there's always a sense of control, and so that is something he has to adapt to. Both Saka and Gyökeres have to adapt. In my opinion, it's on Gyökeres to demand what he needs to get his goals, but this is about another conversation, Woody, and this is the downright ugly, as I said. His technical ability has been inconsistent and poor. Nottingham Forest, right? You're away to the City Ground. You're not playing your best as a team. Viktor Gyökeres, the breakaway speed. Viktor Gyökeres, the bully. Murillo, he slips. This is what you get paid to do. You have acres of space. My cousin. No, I'm not going to go with my cousin. This should be a goal, right? I'm not going to take personal shots. This is what you're paid to do as a Premier League footballer. Murillo, dead to rights. Elliot Anderson, not the fastest midfielder. Viktor Gyökeres, I remember when he played against Manchester City, one of the goals that you and I were talking about, he looked like a runaway freight train. banging in. But now look at his technique. You have to have a good, solid first touch. That first touch to take you 10 yards beyond the top of the box. If your first touch goes anywhere to one side to the right, anywhere to the left, you're back into pressure with Elliot Anderson. But this touch that goes here, you're off to the races. And as we roll the tactics, look at what he does. This is subpar for a club that is going to be in the Champions League. And you know, in my opinion, and looking at it, imagining it, Viktor Gyökeres, as the buildup goes, first touch not good enough, third touch not good enough, and ultimately he lets Nottingham Forest off the hook. Arsenal could have gone 9 points clear to finish up that day, and they're very fortunate that Aston Villa slipped up. And these are the moments in the fine margins that Viktor Gyökeres is getting wrong time and time again, and that begs even more questions about where Arsenal should turn as they move forward in terms of striker options, because it's not Gyökeres or bust. They have options, Woody.
Yeah, I think you look at the 4 players that could reasonably play this role. Kai Havertz has done it a fair bit. Gabriel Jesus, Mikel Merino did an incredible job in a fill-in role. I'm not certain he's the guy that you want to be the permanent solution at this position, but I think you look at these players, there's real competition for this place. How long does Arteta stick with it? I personally think that the player he trusts the most is Kai Havertz. I think at some point he'll resume that role and he'll be that center forward again. But there's competition, but again, none of this competition is high-level center forward play. I don't think any of these guys are going to become 20-goal scorers. Only Gyökeres can, and I think that would be the case for sticking with him.
So very quickly, what's your pecking order, 1 to 4?
I think based off of current performance, I would say Havertz 1, Jesus 2, Merino 3, and Gyökeres 4th. Based off of current performance, based off of what we've seen from them this season. That doesn't mean that if you're Arsenal, you give up on this project. You spent a lot of money, and you thought that it would solve your problems. But if you're trying to win a game tomorrow, rather than implement some long-term process, if we get to Champions League semi-final territory, then I think you start to look for other options.
You heard it from the main man, Chris Wittyngham himself. Viktor Gyökeres is going to drop to 4th in the pecking order, but you let us know in the YouTube comments, what are Arsenal's problems and what should Viktor Gyökeres do? Numbers don't lie. You heard it here first.